How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son to make a wretch His treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Behold the man upon a cross, my sin upon His shoulders. Ashamed I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held Him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, His death and resurrection. Why should I gain from His reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: His wounds have paid my ransom. Why should I gain from His reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: His wounds have paid my ransom. His wounds have paid my ransom.
Hello there, welcome to our videocast for this today and for our reflection for Holy Week and Easter. We're moving towards a very exciting period in the life of the Church, and it's Holy Week and Easter as we remember those events of Jesus' entry into Jerusalem as the King of Kings, and then the Holy Week in which He established the Last Supper and then went to Calvary on the cross and rose again on Easter Day. Those words are so familiar, but I would like to tell you a story today which might give us a little different reflection on that particular story. In a forest there were growing 3 trees, and the 3 trees dreamed of what they would want to be when they were older and mature. The first tree said, when I get cut down, I'm going to become a treasure chest, and I'm going to be filled with jewels, and I'll be owned by a royal palace or by a pirate. And I will be the greatest, most beautiful treasure chest in all the world, and all the jewels, the most important jewels, will be placed in me, and I will be renowned throughout the world. The second tree thought to himself, well, what will I be when I'm cut down? I'm going to become the greatest ship across in the world ever. I will travel on adventures that nobody else has had, and I will have the best captain and crew that the world has ever seen. And I will have such adventures, it will blow your mind. The third tree thought to himself, well, what will I be when I'm cut down? Well, I will be a throne. I will be a seat where a bishop or an archbishop or a king or a queen can sit. And I will be on that throne, and I will be so covered in jewels and beauty, so beautiful that people will want to sit on me as part of their kingdom. And they all dreamed of what they would be. And yet, one day, the woodcutter came along and cut down those 3 trees. And sadly, the first tree wasn't turned into a treasure chest, it was turned into a little feeding trough. And he was very sad. The second tree wasn't turned into a large ship, but turned into a little fishing boat, and he was very sad. And the third tree was even turned into planks of wood rather than being turned into a throne, and he also was very sad, and each tree thought, our dreams will never come true. And yet, for the first tree, on one evening in the cold of winter, as he lay in a stable being fed on by sheep and cattle, a couple came in, and they laid their baby in him, and he was Jesus on that first Christmas day. And that first tree realised, I have become the greatest treasure chest in all the world. The second tree was on the little lake in the Sea of Galilee, and the man Jesus and his disciples boarded that ship, and they went set out into the middle of the lake, and there he calmed the waters when a storm grew up, and he also stepped on the waters around about the ship. And he realised that he had the greatest adventure a ship could ever have, even though he'd never travelled the great seas of the world. And he was happy. And the third tree, on one Friday, let's call it Good Friday, those planks of wood were taken from the store that he'd been turned into, and they were taken to a Golgotha on a Calvary. And those planks were turned into a cross. And he realised that he wasn't a throne in the normal sense, but it became a throne for the King of Kings and Lord of Lords on that first Good Friday, as Jesus died on the cross for us. And so those trees, their dreams came true. They found a new perspective of life, a new hope for the future, of their possibilities, of what they could be and what they could become. For me, Christmas and Easter and the life of Jesus are all ways in which we can redefine our lives, reflect on our lives, and discover our potential under God of what we can be. And often, when God is in the midst of our lives, those dreams and possibilities are far beyond what we would ever imagine. Those disciples grew to know Jesus, but they didn't realise the power of his resurrection until they met him in the garden, or on the beach, or at breakfast, or on the way to Emmaus. And I pray that this Easter you will meet the risen Jesus, that your life will be turned upside down, and you will know that you are loved, and that you will find the peace of Jesus that only he can give. I pray that you may have a wonderful, reflective Holy Week and a very joyful Easter in the power of the resurrection. Alleluia. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. I want us just to reflect now on those words of a well-known hymn, which I'm going to sing for you. They're called There Is a Green Hill Far Away. There is a green hill far away, outside a city wall, where the dear Lord was crucified, who died to save us all. We may not know, we cannot tell, what pains he had to bear, but we believe it was for us he hung and suffered there. He died that we might be forgiven. He died to make us good, that we might go at last to heaven, saved by his precious blood. There was no other good enough to pay the price of sin. He only could unlock the gate of heaven and let us in. Oh, dearly, dearly has he loved, and we must love him too, and trust in his redeeming blood, and try his works to do. God bless you all, Thank you for joining us again for this wonderful reflection for Easter.
Who breaks the power of sin and darkness? Whose love is mighty and so much stronger? The King of glory, the King above all kings. Who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder and leaves us breathless in awe and wonder? The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross. You laid down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.